right, folks. One of my favorite confluences ever. I talk about respect and disrespect all the time in a Discord server. Now it's time to actually teach it. What is respect and disrespect? Well, you know what disrespect looks like in real life? It's basically like ignoring someone's boundaries and completely violating them. It's kind of what disrespect is. Respect is respecting their boundaries and actually acknowledging them and not pushing past them and being disrespectful. So, referencing that into price is basically, you know how we hit a fair value gap, you would expect price to respect it because it's just normal for price to respect it. It's a common thing for price to respect it. In which, if price is not respected and runs through it, that is disrespect. Pretty simple, right? It's nothing too hard. So, how can this be used as a confluence? Well, I kind of, sort of, not necessarily invented this, but I'm not gonna, truly say I did because we never know. ICT could have taught this 20 years ago when he was 19 years old. So, but I haven't seen ICT use not expect, but respect and disrespect like this. Like, I would never hear him say, I want to expect this new week opening gap to get disrespected because, he likes new week opening gaps and stuff like that. But I've never heard him say that. I want to expect this to run through a specific order block. I've never heard him say that. I'll normally hear him say respect it or tap one and expect it to bounce off of it, but I would never hear him say disrespect or run through. So I'm going to teach you something that's very, very useful. When I say very, very useful, very, very useful. And if you apply the PD array matrix to this, it's even better. PD array matrix meaning the ranking of PD arrays. If you know, the mitigation block is the strongest PD array, meaning a reference point in price. So let's actually go over, for example, today's price action. If you just used respect and disrespect alone, we're going to start from let's go to the 4 hour. Why not? Boom. Er, Respect and disrespect is simply using arrays and see how price respects or disrespects them. Now, for example, if you are bearish and you have a bunch of bullish PD arrays against you, what you want to see price do is disrespect those bullish PD arrays if you expect price to go down. Pretty simple, right? It's not too hard. So we have a bearish PD array, which is the suspension block, and we have a bullish PD array, which is this, obviously this bullish liquidity void. Don't get too confused with the lines. I'm going to point it out myself, but let's just say this blue box with the quadrants in it is the you know what? No, that's gonna make it too confusing. Let me not do that. Anyway, this one up here above price is a suspension block. The one that price is currently in or kind of sort of outside of is the liquidity void right here. Just remember that. So we got the bullish liquidity void and bearish suspension block. Keep that in mind. Let's say we are the one who knows and we know everything. So we know that the market's going to drop today. We're going to always assume that we're right. Looking at today's price action, overnight and the current day, which is New York, we can see that. Let me hide the liquidity void real quick. My bad. Let me hide it. You can see that when we kept hitting the suspension block, which is the blue, red, those lines there, quadrants in equilibrium, we respected the suspension block many times. Like, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We were respecting it a lot of times. And then 8. We kept respecting it. We did not have a tendency to shoot through it and respect it. So since we know that price is going to go down, this supports our bearish bias. Understand? Now, deleting that, since we understand that that's supporting us, deleting it, hold on. Now I can put on the liquidity void. Looking at the liquidity void, if we want to see price go down, what should it do to this liquidity void? It should fill it and disrespect it. Disrespecting it how? Running through these levels. It doesn't have to do it aggressively, but it just simply has to run through these levels and simply have the willingness to run through it and not have the willingness to resist it and basically bounce off of it and kind of sort of respect it. In which, do we see that anywhere here? Let me turn off the kill zones. That might make it a little blurry for it. Not blurry, but annoying for you to see. Do we clearly see price respecting this liquidity void at all? No, you really don't. It's just running through it, running through it, running through it, running through it, and running through it, and running through it again. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I know. So it's that simple. I swear to God, it's that simple. In which we're gonna drop down to a 1 minute time frame and go to, let me delete that liquidity void since we already have our higher time frame respect and disrespect influences. Let me go to let's go to the hour. My bad, I didn't want to go that low, but let's just go to the hour real quick. Nothing here. Yeah, like from the 8:30 to 9:30 area. Nothing there. 30-minute, here we go. We got a little something. We have this fair value gap right here, in which that is a redelivered rebalance, in which I have not taught that yet. But we jump into this fair value gap to fill it before price delivers lower. We hit it. This is a form of respect. Listen here. Whenever you see price close below a certain array, or basically close outside of it, that's major respect. Major. When I say major, major respect. Reason being, I've said this a couple times before, but do you remember when I said the wicks do the damage and the bodies tell the story? That's basically what's going on here. Because the wicks is just noise. Think of the wicks as just noise, and that's simply price doing other things. That's it. It's simply the noise or the annoyances of price, while the bodies is the actual algorithm tipping its hand to you and saying, here, I want to do this. Will you listen to me? That's literally it. In which it hit the fair value gap, going past its equilibrium, just running through it according to the wicks. But according to the bodies, we closed right outside of it, respecting it. In which this next candle wicked into it again and dropped lower. Real nice, isn't it? Yeah, real nice. So that right there is respect of a what? Bearish PD rate, which is supporting what? Our bearish bias. Whoa, real simple, right? Very simple. Nothing too hard. Now, going back to the, let's see, I think I had some sort of time frame here. Not time frame, but it was a specific array that I saw here. No, maybe I'm just tripping, but let me go to the 15-minute. Here we go. Okay, we also have a mitigation block here, which is a stronger PD array. That's one thing I forgot to mention too. When it comes to stronger PD arrays, they tend to have stronger confluence. So if you see a strong PD array get disrespected, that's a pretty strong confluence. Obviously, right? I don't think I have to say that, but whenever you see something stronger get violated, it's typically better because it's stronger. Like imagine you see a little dude beat up some dude that's 6'5" and 200 pounds. Imagine you see it, it's gonna be like, whoa, what the this dude might be able to do something to some other guys that we see in here. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of the same concept. But as you can see, at this candle's low is when it violated the mitigation block. It accumulated after violating the mitigation block, and then proceeded to drop past the mitigation block, and in which, bro, this I hate that I missed this. Oh my god, I literally sold around this level so I can show my execution, but it dropped past it, 321 points and 2 ticks. Sorry, I had to include the 2 ticks, but you get the point. The stronger the PD rate is, okay, the more meaningful or more critical or more important or a better of a confluence it is. Okay? Understand that. In which, if you want to hear the strength or the category or the level of each array, mitigation block is the strongest, liquidity void is the second strongest, breaker block, third strongest, fair value gap, fourth strongest, order block, fifth strongest, rejection block, sixth strongest, and the least is volume balance. That's the seven. The seven is right there. I just gave it to you. Mitigation block, liquidity void, breaker block, fair value gap, order block, rejection block, and what did I just say? Volume balance. Those are the seven, starting from strongest to weakest. That's what I just did, strongest to weakest. So going back even deeper into the time frames, let's look here. We also have within that mitigation block a order block right there. You're probably like, oh, didn't the order block get exhausted right here because it dropped down into it, jumped higher? Not necessarily, because it didn't really go that far. Now, if you would have said it went all the way like up here, then yeah, I would say it's exhausted. But it just delivered away from it. It didn't even deliver the full range of the order block when going away from it. Like the whole range of the order block is 89 points. But when it started delivering away from it, it was, hold on, it only did 76 points. So it didn't even do the whole order block. It did majority of it. So it's not exhausted. In which it violates that order block. Now, when I say this, you have a larger confluence with stronger PD arrays being respected or disrespected, I don't necessarily mean search for specifically the strongest. It's best to see the strongest get violated and or respected based off whatever scenario you're in, but don't exactly handpick the stronger PD arrays because sometimes they don't always form. And then if you do that, you might miss out on other PD arrays that are just as strong, but a level under it. And if you miss that, you might have the wrong bias and you might get absolutely destroyed. So just keep that in mind. But we did violate that order block, in which, while violating the order block, it was within the mitigation block. So we violated the mitigation block also, in which we had a confluence that the algorithm supported and was like, oh, okay, we violated it. Let's drop. In which we dropped, and we dropped, and we dropped, and we dropped. Now, I primarily wanted to go over the disrespect part first because it's more interesting to see it play out in price and how price will purposely disrespect arrays to give you, the smart money trader, insight on the market. The algorithm does this on purpose. Because remember, like I said, the algorithm refers and respects certain arrays to give smart money opportunities. But if it wanted to give us an opportunity to buy at this order block, it would go to it and respect it, right? Think of it as that. The algorithm is literally your helping hand in this market. I'm not going to sit here and say the trend is your friend because it's not. It's not. The algorithm is your friend. The algorithm controls the friend. You have I said the algorithm controls the friend. The algorithm controls the market, in which you have to listen to the algorithm. The algorithm is your friend. It can shift at any moment, and it's going to tell you when it's going to do that. Kind of sort of the trend is your friend, but the algorithm is the one that controls the trend, in which you follow the algorithm. Real simple. Anyway, going on to the respect part of this entire, area here. We do have, I would say these three candles are an order block, but that's just obnoxious, honestly. It's probably on like the hour or something like that. Yeah, look at that. There we go. Here we go. That entire candle there is the order block, in which there is more on a lower time frame. Promise you, there is more. Let me go back to the 5 minute. Here we go. Okay, so as we can see, it triggered the order block down here, went into it once, twice, three times, almost reached it here, but three times we respected it. Did we reach its equilibrium? Let's see. No. Preferably, you don't want to see that. Okay, you don't want to see it hit its equilibrium. Reason being, that shows that price is really fiending. It's really fiending to drop lower. It's like, okay, I'm so lazy. I don't even want to go up there. Let's just go. I'm just ready. I don't want to do anything else but drop lower. That's exactly what it's telling you. But if it hits that equilibrium and respects it, it's like, okay, I guess I'll do this first, then I'll drop, because it just provides the smart money extra confluence or better opportunity to actually take shorts. That's literally what the algorithm is doing according to its source code. It's nothing too hard. So just getting rid of that order block. Let's look at some other things that got respected within this run. Uh, This breaker block right here, we mark that out, that breaker block right there, because we broke, if I can get it, there we go. Well, oh no, we did disrespect it. That's messed up. Yeah, we went outside of its range. Dang. Well, hold on, I think on the 15 minute. Oh, well, nope, never mind. Oh man, that's messed up. Okay, whatever. But you get the point. It kind of disrespected, well, no, not kind of, but it did disrespect that breaker block, sadly. Let's see if there's any other confluences. We do have this mitigation block right here at that swing, in which it retraced up into it right on this candle, dropped, activated it, retraced back up into into the order, not order block, but mitigation block in the same candle. I'm having a lot of stutters recently. Are you guys hearing that? Hopefully it's not messing up the teaching real bad, but having a lot of brain fog within teaching. Maybe I'm getting a little old. I mean, I'm only 16, but putting a little too much stress on my brain can really affect it. So it retraced up into that mitigation block, hit it, respected it, obviously, because it did not come back up and break that high. Matter of fact, it didn't come anywhere near it. And secondly, it started dropping lower. That's also a form of respect. Whenever you see but whenever you see price reacting off of it, you actually see it moving away from it. That's also another form of respect. I forgot to mention that. But this fair value gap here, price didn't necessarily react off of it, but we could clearly see that it was holding pretty well. One, two, and then it reacted afterwards. But kind of sort of stalled itself because it's the lunch macro, as you can see, from 11:30 to 1:30. Yeah, it's built to do that. So this isn't. I'm not going to sit here and say this isn't normal, but it is normal because it's lunch macro. Lunch macro was built to consolidate. Occasionally, it doesn't always have to consolidate in certain scenarios, but you get the point. It touches it, one, two, respect, and is still supporting the what? The bearish bias. Real easy. Real easy. It's nothing hard, I swear. Nothing hard. Anyway, we got another mitigation block, in which you can already see price retraces up, respects it, reacts off of it. Two forms of respect. It actually hitting it and not willing to go through it. And secondly, it willing to displace away from it. Then we have another mitigation block right after, right there. Retraces up into it. Da 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 da. You get the point. I don't I don't have to say that part. You get it already. So we have another. This is the last one, and I'm gonna end the video off here. Retraces up into that fair value gap, kind of sort of stalls a little bit before the final hour macro, but the final hour macro kicks in and actually delivers lower off of the respect of that fair value gap. But since it's close to the end of the day and lunch macro dropped lower, which is usually not supposed to happen, PM will normally consolidate when that happens. So, in which it did from not 1:30, but after 1:30, we started consolidating until the final hour macro, in which, like I said, the final hour macro dropped lower and did its thing. In which, for some reason, we had, I think it was another Iran comment about the war. You get the point. This market can be a little annoying at times. But anyway, this is Respect and Disrespect, a very, very easy but super, super, super strong confluence. Please use this. This is probably the best confluence you can ever have, ever, because price is going to disrespect and respect arrays constantly, every single day, every single minute, every single hour, every single week, every single month. It's going to do this all the time. So this is the end of Respect and Disrespect. Hope I taught this well, and this should, well, no, it will be insightful to your trading and your skills. And I'll see you in the next one. Good luck and good trading.